I mean, these are just cartoons for kids. There's no way it's anything like the shows I watch. But anime is different, there's all sorts of... Are you tired of people putting down anime like it's a Happy Meal? Tired of trying to find a bridge between TV watchers, only to end up throwing your phone at the wall? Like seriously, have you ever given a recommendation with your life on the line? Well, get ready, as today we're finally building that bridge between TV and anime by showing you anime like their favorite show, and watch them turn around like they just smelled the Big Mac. What's up everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing something a little different. If you've ever wondered where to start with anime, or you know someone who keeps saying it's not for them, this is the video. We're matching 5 of the biggest TV shows to the anime that scratches that exact same itch, not just for the vibes, but actually similar in ways that matter. Let's get into it.
Being a fool gives you a sort of power, doesn't it? You're there, and you're not there. It's like having a wizard's cloak of invisibility.
So how does The Mentalist work? Well, you've got a murder case, and Patrick Jane arrives, and everyone investigates, and Patrick Jane messes with the suspects. We get a little bit of Lisbon going,
What the hell are you doing?
to which we get this golden smile. And then there might be a false lead, but Patrick Jane figures it out. Patrick Jane lays a trap, and Patrick Jane saves the day. I think you get it now. There's a lot of Patrick Jane. Now, while the anime we're comparing it to doesn't spend its entire screen time glazing someone, with the sole exception of Satoru Gojo, it does follow a similar formula. There's cases in each episode, and there's an overarching story where Jane lost his wife and child to a serial killer, whose identity is an overarching mystery over the course of the series. Detective Conan is the same energy in a completely different package. Kudo Shinichi is a high school detective, one of the best in Japan, who gets poisoned by a criminal organization and wakes up in the body of a 7-year-old kid. So now he's solving murders, and there's a lot of murders. At least Patrick Jane gets called by the police whenever there's a murder. This kid's basically a walking curse for crime. Wherever he goes, someone dies, all while hiding who he actually is and trying to track down the people who did this to him. The cases are genuinely clever. The deductions are satisfying in the same way Jane's reads are. You're watching someone operate on a different level to everyone around them, and occasionally you clock it before they reveal it and feel like a genius. There's over 1,000 episodes of this. If you like The Mentalist and want something that never runs out, this is it.
Jesus fucking Christ, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher.
I really hate that name.
Jesus Christ, man.
You said that.
What made Dexter compelling wasn't the kills. It was sitting inside the head of someone doing a madness while being convinced that they had a code, logic, a reason that made them different from what they actually were. In simpler terms,
Oh man, just topped him off like it was nothing! Get chefed, my G!
you're basically just watching a killer justify himself in real time and following along even when you know it's wrong. Death Note is that, but on a completely different level. Yagami Light finds the Death Note, a notebook that kills anyone whose name is written in it. And at first, he's not even sure about it. He tests it, questions it, but it gradually builds. He's removing criminals. He's making the world safer. He's the only one with the power to do this, so why shouldn't it be him? The public starts calling him Kira, Light embraces it, and from there, the God complex takes over completely, and you watch every step of how he got there. Now remember Dokes? How could you forget him? He's literally the guy that goes,
Surprise, motherfucker.
the one guy who looked at Dexter and just knew, couldn't prove it, couldn't explain it, but something was off and he wasn't letting go. That specific dynamic, one person seeing through the mask while everyone else is completely fooled, is exactly what L is to Light. Except Light and L are both operating at a level where every single conversation is a chess match with their lives on the line. If that tension between Dexter and Dokes had you on edge, Light and L will have you holding your breath for entire episodes.
날 죽이고 싶나?
Squid Game worked because it took ordinary, desperate people, put them in a situation with no good options, and you watched what happens when survival is the only thing left on the table. The games themselves were almost secondary. What hooked people was the psychological pressure of being trapped in a system designed to destroy you, and watching people either break or do whatever it takes. Kaiji has been doing this. Same desperate protagonist, same rigged system, same psychological warfare, except where Squid Game gives you spectacle, people dying left, right and center. Kaiji gets inside your head in a way that's uncomfortable. Kaiji's a broke bum, makes terrible decisions, and ends up in debt to the wrong people. What follows is a series of increasingly brutal games where the house always has the advantage, and the only weapon Kaiji has is his brain. The tension in Kaiji is literally a rollercoaster of emotion. You're watching someone think their way through a trap in real time while the walls close in. Imagine you're watching Squid Game, chilling on your sofa, and then you switch to Kaiji and you gotta pull this move. That's how you know it's serious. I actually did a full dedicated video on Kaiji, so check that out in the description because it deserves way more than I can give it here. But trust me on this one.
What happened, what we did, what we lost.
The Walking Dead at its best wasn't really about zombies, but more about what happens to people when the world stops having rules. Who becomes a leader, who becomes a monster, who tries to hold on to something human when everything around them is telling them to let go. The walkers were just the pressure that revealed the characters' true natures. Attack on Titan does exactly this, but with titans. Enormous humanoid creatures that eat people for no apparent reason, and a humanity that's been hiding behind walls for 100 years, trying to survive. It's got the same core, small group of people, fighting something that should be unbeatable. Nobody is safe, and the longer it goes, the more complicated the real enemy turns out to be. What Attack on Titan does that The Walking Dead eventually struggled with is sustaining the quality all the way through. The final arc of Attack on Titan is one of the most ambitious things any long-form story has attempted, regardless of the medium. It asks questions about cycles of violence and what people are capable of when they believe they're justified, that Walking Dead never got anywhere near. If you love the early seasons of Walking Dead and felt it lost its way, Attack on Titan finds the way and keeps it.
I never did receive a formal education, but I could have sworn I read the last king in the north was Torrhen Stark, who bent the knee to my ancestor Aegon Targaryen, in exchange for his life and the lives of the Northmen.
Okay, this is the big one. Game of Thrones is possibly the greatest TV show ever made. Enormous world, countless factions, politics running beneath every conversation, and characters so well developed that when the show takes one of them away, you feel it like something real. The whole thing is building towards something. Who sits on the Iron Throne? What happens when the winter actually comes? And every piece of the world feels connected to that question, even when it's happening thousands of miles from King's Landing. One Piece is the greatest anime ever made. I will die in this hill. Monkey D. Luffy wants to find the One Piece and become king of the pirates. It's a simple goal, except between him and that goal is the entire world. Every ocean, every island, every faction, every government conspiracy, every piece of ancient history the world has been trying to bury for centuries. He's building a crew, and every single member has a dream of their own that gets just as much weight as his. The world building in One Piece operates on a scale that Game of Thrones can't match, purely because Oda has been building it for over 25 years, and every single thing he planted is still paying off. Characters introduced 300 episodes ago come back with context that reframes everything you thought you knew. The Elbaf arc airing right now is paying off setups from over a decade ago. Both shows have the same core appeal, a massive living world full of people all chasing something. Political power structures that are more complicated and more corrupt than they first appeared, and the understanding that the point is the journey, not just a destination. Game of Thrones fans who haven't started One Piece are sitting on one of the greatest entertainment experiences available to them right now. I'm not exaggerating, that's just what it is. The idea that anime isn't for you because you already watch good TV is one of the most expensive mistakes a person can make with their free time. Everything you love about great television exists somewhere in anime. The complex characters, the long-form storytelling, the worlds that feel genuinely alive. You've already proven you have the taste for it. You just haven't found the right entry point yet. Hopefully now you have 5 of them.